Hey guys, Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and I only upload Minecraft. So this is Feedback Friday, a series that's getting to be weekly. And it's where I answer your questions from Twitter and reply. So you can write me at WoodysGamertag. I usually put out a feeler like, hey, I'm doing Feedback Friday, give me your questions. This is how it goes. So let's get started. Tips for success and happiness, Mr. Moneybags, Woody. Not my favorite nickname, but I'll cover it. You know, at a high level, the formulas are simple. At the details, it is tricky to do it day after day, but I'll take them separate because they're totally separate things. Financial success is a piece of cake. It leaked out that I was a millionaire. What happened is there was this Ask Reddit question thing, and they said, millionaires of Reddit, how did you do it? And I replied, people have the wrong idea that I got it off YouTube or Minecraft or something like that. And while those things are doing really well, the bulk of my wealth came from before those things. Here's how you do it. These are cliches to anyone who's studied finances, but like get rich slow, dollar cost averaging, pay yourself first. That's it. That's how it's done. I've been saving since I was 18 years old, tucking away from my retirement account. And there were some rough times, when Colin was younger, because we paid so much on medical stuff, medical care, therapy, things like that. But pay yourself first is the way it's done. I did math to prepare for this. And if you put away $1,000 a month for 20 years into the S&P 500, which gets about a 12% return, you'll be a millionaire. 12% return, $1,000 a month, 20 years. That's how you do it. It's kind of hard to live without that extra 12 grand. It is, right? You miss it. Because you can put it away before taxes, then it's kind of like living without, maybe 8 grand over the course of a year. But if you make a lifetime of this, 20 years later, you'll actually have $989,000. So maybe another month or two and you'll be a millionaire. That's how that's done. It's what's for dinner. If you want to be a millionaire, you have to tell yourself no to, you see people in your life, and you see them on YouTube a lot. Child stars. It turns out something like 60 or 70% of NBA players have financial troubles 5 years after they leave the league. You have to deny yourself the things that you want. Are you infatuated with a particular gun, a particular piece of electronics? These are some of my weak spots. Are you just lusting after the newest and greatest, I don't know, iPhone or whatever? If you pay yourself first instead of paying somebody else, then you can tuck away some money and you can be a millionaire. It's as straightforward as that. When you see people on YouTube, who, by the way, oftentimes have really short... How long's a YouTube career? 3-4 years? Something like that? Think of the people from 4 years ago, from the year 2010. How many of them are hot right now? There's not a ton. If you see them with these short little careers who go out and buy, whether it be an expensive car or crazy this or that, and child stars, athletes, people, they all make this same mistake. They don't pay themselves first. They don't tuck it away. Be smart with your money. I think to myself, whenever I'll see something that I could afford, right? Because I've been saving forever. And I think, Woody, a fool and his money are soon parted. A fool and his money are soon parted. It's like my mantra. A fool and his money are soon parted. Don't be that guy, right? There's tons of examples of being that guy. Be that other guy. Be that other guy. There's people who depend on me. Be the other guy. Be that dependable guy. And I'll be in way better shape. So, key to financial success, get rich slow. Pay yourself first, right? Save your money. And not in a bank account. Someplace where it grows. That's the whole point of this. Invest it in an S&P 500 fund, and you'll be good to go. So, yeah, as soon as you get a job, or even before if you can, because early helps a ton, put some money away. And then the other thing was happiness. And money doesn't buy happiness. It's become, there's so much evidence of that around me in my life lately. Money and happiness are so unrelated. I'm going to be talking about that throughout the show. But happiness comes from your relationships with the people around you. How well are you getting along with your parents, your brother, your sister, your friends, and your husband and wife, and your kids? That is where happiness comes from. It's your relationship with the people in your life. Burn that into your head. You know, there's this cliche, you know, money doesn't buy happiness, and you always think like it does. And it's easy to get wrapped up into that thought process, and I'll tell you why. Oftentimes, what you want to do is limited by what you can pay. You know, like, oh, I would be doing this thing that would be fun if I had more cash. Therefore, money and cash are tied together, but they're so not. You know, the things that are fun aren't that fun when you do them alone. You know, if you ever owned one jet ski, that's not what fun is. You know, you just, for a very short period of time it might be. But after a while, you're like, man, this blows. Like, it's not what fun is. You know, you think you'd have fun if your graphics card was better? Not really. If you want happiness, work on the relationships with the people in your life. And I'll tell you how. If you already have a friend, let's start from the beginning. If you need to make a friend, it's about having your door open, right? Listen, right? To do a 60-40, a 70-30 ratio when you talk to somebody new. Listen more than you talk. Be that open door. If the door's open, people will walk through. And the other part of that ties into it is surround yourself with people, right? If you surround yourself with people like, I don't know, join clubs, join athletic teams, you know, sports clubs or whatever. It could be, if you're a grown-up, a beer hockey league team. If you're in high school, you know, some photography club, football team, I don't care what it is. Surround yourself with people, listen, and you'll be set. And then once you have friends, and smile and be open and be, you know those guys who are just like gifted funny? Merker Durka's like that, right? Merker Durka, I bet, could tell a story about waiting in line in the DMV that would have us all rolling in the aisles. If you don't know him, he's a YouTuber. He's been on Painkiller already a lot. He's like naturally gifted funny. His inflection, whatever, it's nice. I don't have that. I'm not that guy. But you probably do have something, right? Maybe you're sincere. Maybe you're thoughtful. Maybe you're caring. You know, there are other things you can bring to the table that you don't have to be Bill Burr to make a friend. You know, once you have a friend, that's the next part. And once you have a friend, it's about teaming with that guy. If you want to be a friend to somebody, then you need to want what's best for them, right? My wife is amazing at this, right? Her and I are a team, fucking locked. And it's always like same goal, same vision, same team. We work together on this stuff. And she does a good job like keeping us guided on this. Friends do this with each other too, you know? When you hear someone say something bad about your friend, then, you know, you stand up for that and you say, no, that's not how I see this. This is wrong. That's what a friend does. Loyalty and, you know, sort of you know, common goals and helping each other be better than you would without better than you would alone. That's being a friend. You know, and then like on the contrary, like if a friend isn't being that guy, if a friend is being that, you know, a toxic friend, you got to get that guy out of your life. So, you know, as keys to success and happiness, or financial success and happiness, pay yourself first and treat the people around you well. And that's where true happiness is. It's not money. This ties into this next one. Hold on. Woody, what's your opinion on the Sterling situation and how it's being dealt with? So, okay, all right. First off, I'm cautious about sympathizing or empathizing with this racist douchebag, right? He really is a racist douchebag. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have said those things. So let's lay that out there. Don't get what comes next all twisted up. There are a couple things that struck out to me. One, tying into the previous one, he's a multi-billionaire. Oh, if you don't know the Sterling situation, he owns the LA Clippers. It's an NBA basketball team, right? The Premier League. And he told his mistress, he's married and he's cheating on her with this woman. And he told his mistress not to post pictures of her with black people on Instagram or bring black friends to his basketball games. And I'm really kind of curious as to what's going on here. Like the way I interpret it is his racist douchebag friends are giving him crap about her like associating with black people. Like he says in the recordings, like, man, you know, it's the world that I live in. I can't change it. It's just where we are. And it's like, dude, like, not only are you a racist douchebag, but part of your problem, you're like a reluctant racist douchebag. You know, like he told her, like, look, you can be friends with these people. You can even sleep with these people. These people, he's saying, but by that he means black people. just don't do it in public. Don't put your Instagram and pictures or bring them to my games. And it's like, yeah, he's like a reluctant racist. Like someone's giving him crap about what's going on in her life, and I I was all on board with crucifying this guy at first. It's like, yeah, get him. Where are my torches and pitchforks? But like, imagine you and your family, and she knew his buttons, right? She was pressing his buttons. He would like change the topic. Why are we fighting? You're such a fighter, etc. And she would like bring the topic back. Like she's like, I can't change my skin. Apparently his mistress, by the way, is I think half Mexican and half black. PKA stats, but I think that's right. And so he's dating a half black woman, and he's just trying to catch less crap from his friends about the whole situation. And she's like, I can't change the blood running through my veins. I can't change my skin. He didn't ask for that. And by the way, this is a private conversation, right? They're in the same room. She has a recorder in her pocket. He doesn't know he's being recorded. Imagine that scenario where you are with your grandparents. Do you think you could press their buttons and get them to say something racist? Like, he didn't drop N-bombs. He didn't, like, go ballistic. Apparently he's a racist, and he's got, like, prior history of like, real estate dealings with equal opportunity housing. So he's guilty. But do you think you could get your parents to say something as racist as... Not your parents, your grandparents, because he's 81. Don't post pictures of you with guys on Instagram or something like it. Or maybe it's not racist. Maybe it's homophobic, right? Do you think you get your grandparents to say something homophobic if you recorded them unknowingly like that? Like, he's very much the victim of a scheme to show his bad side. And what they're doing to him is they're making him sell his basketball team. And that, like, I don't know. On one hand, you want to hang him, right? Torches and pitchforks. On the other hand, you're like, man, his private thoughts with his mistress were secretly being recorded while she's involved in some sort of legal feud. His legal feud. His wife is suing her because he'd give his mistress gifts, and she's like, those are marital assets, those are mine. She's trying to take back the gifts that he gave his mistress. Secretly recorded in an argument with his mistress, says not to post pictures of you with black people or bring black people to the basketball games. And now they want to take away a $500 or $600 million investment, make him sell it. He doesn't lose the money. He'll get whatever comes from sales. But I don't want to sympathize or empathize with this racist douchebag, but I'm kind of thinking that, like, does the punishment fit the crime here? Right? If it were a regular fine, to take somebody's asset, like the thing that he loves, like a basketball team, because he said something while he was unknowingly recorded in a conversation with someone he loves, it's, I don't know. It might be over the top. So that's my take on it. But one of the things I took away from those tapes, man, was how unhappy this guy is. $2 billion, and it's his relationships with other people that's bringing him all this misery, right? He's hating life right now. Personally, I think first-person shooters are starting to die. What's your opinion on that, and what's the next big game? You're right. I felt like they were dying. No. If you had talked to me 2 years ago, I'd have been like, they'll never die, right? COD will die, but shooters won't. At some point, there'll either be a better COD than COD, which is tough to pull off, or a totally new thing, right? Battlefield tried to be a better COD than COD. It didn't gain, like, widespread acceptance. Or I thought maybe, like, a Halo would come along, or something totally different. Titanfall is totally different, and it would take the shooter crown from Call of Duty. But now, I think Call of Duty will retire as the king of FPS until FPS is resurrected someday. And as far as what's next, who knows, right? For me, it's Minecraft, and it's only partially about Minecraft, but the other half is about the community, right? Like, I play a lot of factions, and factions is like DayZ. Like, people will pretend to be your friend for weeks to get access to your stuff and then steal it from you and leave and say that was fake all along. Then when you go there, you see the same people all the time, and it's the Cheers thing, right? Where everybody knows your name, whether they hate you or whether they love you. you have a relationship with all these people on the server, and that to me is the cooler part of Minecraft than Minecraft itself, right? The game mechanics are pretty sophisticated. The engineering that goes into some of this redstone stuff seriously impresses me. But what really makes Minecraft, to me, the next thing isn't placing blocks. Like when people tried to sell Minecraft to me back before I liked it, they would say like, oh, it's like Legos, but in a computer. And I'm like, oh, it's like Legos, but less good. That's not what Minecraft is to me. To me, Minecraft is the mini games, and it's the relationships with the other people, and the long-standing rivalries or the long-standing friendships. It's, you know, working as a team of 6 to make your faction the most powerful on this server so that no one dares mess with you, and if you do, you get it back 6 times worse. And you know, compared to the COD experience, where like for the last couple of years anyway, I mostly just played by myself, and I go in games and I try to like organize teamwork and stuff, and sometimes it often worked, but it's not like what happens on I'll say on WoodyCraft.net, right? Like that to me is the next thing I got into in gaming. A lot of people got into League of Legends, which is like a real-time simulator game, or you know, who knows what's next. That Hearthstone game is big right now. I don't really know much about it, but it's. To me, I don't think you're going to beat COD by being a better COD. I think something other than first-person shooters is taking their place. And, you know, maybe it's Minecraft and the servers. Maybe it's something else. We'll see. But it'll be... Like, I don't think it'll be COD. I don't think... You know, Sledgehammer came out with their new trailer, and I looked at it. It was kind of interesting, I guess. And that was it. That's definitely not how I would have reacted 3 years ago. It's a different time. And yeah. WoodyCraft has been super successful and has taken over your work full time. Will you ever return to YouTube? I'm sorry. WoodyCraft has been super successful and has taken over your working life. Will you ever return to YouTube full time? I don't know. Like, so I've started to think about like what I admire in people's lives, right? And this is gonna be long, so get comfortable. Like I saw a guy on YouTube. His name was Alex Hammond, I think. And he's the best solo free climber in the world. This guy with no ropes, no protective equipment, nothing, just climbs up mountains, sheer faces, stuff that's inverted. It's crazy. He lives in a van at the base of the mountain, right? Not far, a van down by the river. He has no girls in his life because it turns out chicks don't dig homeless people. He looks like a Greek god or something, right? He's real thin, he's got abs, he's strong, he's cute. But he can't pick up girls, and he talks about this because his life is all about climbing, and, you know, that's apparently is not what chicks dig. But he's living the life that he wants to live, and that's the cool thing, right? He's broke, but it doesn't matter because he's living his version of a perfect life. I know another guy. He owns a restaurant, and this guy loves this restaurant. I went there, right, like behind in the kitchen. He's like, "Look at this stove! Look!" Like he's excited. Like, we got this, and it's like a commercial big stove with a big flat hot top. I don't really know much about cooking. And the same thing with the refrigerator. Look at this! So we can, then it's like a walk-in freezer type thing. And to him, like, this is the life that he desires, right? He works all day, all night. He's devoted to this thing, kind of like I am to WoodyCraft. But it's exactly what he wants in life. He's getting it. He's happy, and you know, like at least professionally. And it's so will I ever return to YouTube full time? If I do it, I want to do it the way that it makes me happy, right? I've been thinking about doing Mail Monday again, right? And it would be something like this, except like in format, like me talking with a game in the corner. I feel like the Mail Monday that I did before is very 2010, 2012. 2012 probably. You know, where you have a game and you just talk behind it and whatever. Like, you know, move forward, advance a little bit. And I think long form is getting kind of hotter. I I think I would take one question and spend more time on it instead of taking 4 questions. I used to feel like the key to a good video was pacing. I should feel like I don't have enough time to say all the things I'm trying to say. Now that ADD style video, like, I don't know, I think I'd rather be comfy, put my feet up, and suck in a video. You know, just take it in. And if I bring back Mail Monday, which I've been contemplating, then I think I'll do one question, slow it down a bit, change the format some to update it, and you know, I don't know, like I miss helping people, and there were people who were really helped by Mail Monday, and it made me feel good about me, and that's a big, like, that's important. You know, I'd like to do that. Maybe some new series that I didn't do before. Maybe Tech Tuesday. Who the hell knows? But you know, will I ever come back to YouTube full time? What I want to do is come back to YouTube on my own time, right? And I feel like the YouTube that I ran last year was kind of the equivalent of, like, you know, I picture 1 million subs with, you know, cracking the whip as I pulled a sled, like in an Egyptian slave situation. And what I'd like to do with YouTube is just make the videos I want to make. And that circles back to the restaurant owner, to the mountain climber. You know, like, what do I want to do with my YouTube channel? This time I want to do what I want to do. And, you know, beat to my own drum. I think I probably messed that up. But, march to my own drum? I don't know. But, so, yeah. I could see doing a lot more YouTube than I have over the past, whatever, 6-8 months. But, if I were to, I think it would be on my terms, which is a little different than I did last year. So that's what I'm thinking about.